Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Panda Cup, how it's been going so far, which players I think are going to qualify next, and just kind of a whole recap of the thing. So far for people we have qualified, we have Sonics, Riddles, Toast, Onan, Big D, Leo, Debuzz, Aaron, Mars, Meister, Lima, Light, Tweak, Mudace, Raven King, MPG, Jake, Deathspade, Send, Chag, Aquila, and then we also have Anarchy and Justice, and then we have one person in Port Priority, two people in DreamHack, and two vote-ins. And I want to immediately look at who I think is going to get in through Port Priority, because I think the biggest chance of someone getting in is probably Shootone. Shootone is the first seed of the event to get in, and then I think Ken is second seed, so it's like high chance that one of them gets in. We also have Zomba there as well, which is like Zomba's been so close every single time, and he is a Japan Slayer, so maybe he's able to beat both those players and get the spot. I can 100% see that. Kurama, if he's playing like he was at Ludwig's, will honestly probably get it because he beat like half the people here. Kameme could definitely take it as well, though it is tough because he has to play some of the Japanese people that do decent against him. At least I think Shutone does pretty good against Kameme, but I guess we can look that up. I'll look up Kameme set history versus Kameme or versus Shutone and versus Ken, and then who else before I forget. We also have Dark Wizzy. Dark Wizzy been playing well. He has a chance. Send and Ned have been both been playing well. Ouch is like a super big wild card. Gact has a decent chance. Cosmos as well. I don't think Cosmos. Actually, I think Cosmos got it at Shine. Hold on, let me check. I don't even know if Shine had a spot. Okay, yeah, Shine did not have a spot. Shine was a summit spot. And so Cosmos is also someone to take it. It depends. Again, if Cosmos is playing well, he could take it. We never really know, but hey. So Kameme is a losing record versus Ken, and he did win the last time they played, and he has never beat Shootone. So he's gonna have a tough time. Hopefully, honestly, for him, he has to hope Shootone gets upset. But actually, maybe they haven't played since he switched to Sora. No, they played a week ago. So yeah, that is tough for Kameme. If he wants to get in, hopefully he doesn't run into Shootone. And I am honestly hoping that one of the Japanese players gets into Panda Cup, because I think that is like kind of the only problem that I have with it right now is there isn't a ton of international representation. Like we have basically Aquila, and that is literally it. Everyone else is from NA. Sonics, I guess, would be like the next thing because he's like from the DR, which is like still NA, but not like a major region in it. And I wish there was more like international thing. Hopefully, we get some in the vote-ins, and honestly, that is what I think is gonna happen. And then also a couple through LCQ. But maybe we see one through Port Party. That could be sick. And then we have Aquila here, which is also nice. And I also do really like that we are having these online qualifiers. I know it's like you could be like, okay, these aren't like the best players. Like unarguably like most of these players, or not most of them, but some of these players like aren't even top 50 in the world or weren't top like on the PGR, but they're also all of them are super amazing, and I think the chance to prove yourself is really cool idea. It's a super sick concept. I think honestly all of them could do really well, and I think the person that'll do the best probably from the online is either Jake, Senchag. Those are like the safe bets because they're like your top players that are known before, and then you have Raven King, MPG, Deathspade, Justice. Those are all amazing players as well. They're all really good. They've done well in tournaments. Nothing like crazy. I don't know who would have the best run out of all of them, so I'm not even gonna try to guess. But the person that I think has the most potential out of like this online era, besides like the mentioned top players, is going to be Anarchy. Anarchy is unreal. He is so good. He plays Greninja. If you don't know, I think his breakout run was at Shine. Yeah, it looks like he was at Shine here, and it was like an insane run. Even though I don't think he got a ton of like super amazing runs or wins rather, he still got a couple decent ones, and he's just like an amazing player as well. Yeah, he won the online qualifier there, and obviously it's like online tournaments definitely like they aren't the same as offline, but you still do have to be good to do well in them. I think a lot of people do forget that. His only offline wait, I think that's his only offline major. Okay, yeah. So he has a total of 5 tournaments, and one of them is a major where he got ninth place and then first, fifth, second. So this is incredibly promising. I think Anarchy is going to do very well. I have a ton of faith in him. He's an absolutely amazing player. He looked really good at Shine. Even though he did lose to Light and Esam, those are like that's your first taste of these super top players like Light and Esam both are. They both won majors before. They're both amazing players. And I think Anarchy has what it takes to be one of the best in the world. And I mean, he arguably already is, but he hasn't quite proved himself yet, even though the Shine run is like kind of crazy. I think he will prove himself again at the Panda Cup for anyone that was like doubting these online players. I think Anarchy has a really good shot to do well, as well as all of the other ones as well. Like Raven King's obviously amazing. MPG's really good. Mega Man Gang. Jake has gotten top 8s at multiple majors. He got like top 8 at Double Down as well, which is like crazy. Deathspade is like really good. I feel like Deathspade had a really good run recently, but I don't super remember. And then Send is obviously amazing. Chag's obviously amazing. Those are both amazing players. Chag, like, His best run probably being his Colossal run, honestly. That Colossal run was kind of crazy. Let's see. Death Spades Majors as of late. He got 33rd at Riptide, pretty good. 33rd at Rising Grind. He's like consistently getting like these 33rd places, which are actually pretty good, especially considering at the majors he's getting them at. Offline only. 65th at main stage is pretty good considering it was main stage. Like, he's doing consistently pretty well, and I think he has a chance to make a couple upsets. Also, kind of weird that we have two Bayos. Like, these are like, there's like 3 Bayonetta players in the world, or like 4, and these are like half of them in the Panda Cup, which is super interesting. Hopefully we can see Bloom, honestly, make it maybe through a panel vote. I doubt it. No shot to Bloom, but I just don't think he gets in. Like, well, we still have players like Spargo, Zachary, but Proto. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, I think the online people have a pretty big chance to make some decent upsets. And then I want to look at DreamHack as well, because that is 2 players from DreamHack, and there is still people that could enter into DreamHack, because it actually is pretty small right now, considering there's 2 Panda Cup spots on the line. The people that are most likely to take it are probably going to be, I think Anathema is the safest bet. And then players like Peanut, Esam, Apollo Kage, DD, they all have a very good chance as well. Players like MVD. MVD's been on a bit of a downswing, but like, he's an absolutely incredible player, and I'm sure he could have a run. Like, he has a decent chance against a lot of these players as well. But if I had to pick 2 just right off this, I'd probably pick Anathema. I don't know. It's so tough. Anathema DD. I think Anathema's like the only one I'm pretty confident about, because he's been playing super well recently. But also, Apollo Kage just got 5th at Let's Make Moves Miami. Like, he had an incredible run there, and if he could repeat that as well, he's for sure going to qualify. He just, like, there's a couple people that are very good against Snake. Like, you have Esam, who's good against Snake. I think Peeb, that's pretty good. Anathema, I think, is very good. Just like, maybe not the specific players, but the characters are amazing against Snake. And also, Steve Snake seems really, really tough, but I don't know how, actually. Let's check Apollo Kage. Let's check his record versus Steve, because if he has a good record versus Steve, he has a good chance, because he's almost guaranteed going to run into a Steve player, but maybe not, like, maybe he does well enough to like actually beat them. First characters. Let's see. Offline only. Has he ever played a Steve? I have to assume he's played one. 8 and 7. So he's fairly even. It looks like that is. It's gonna be tough. Do I think he could do it? Yes. Actually, let me check that. This is at majors. Let's see. He is 7 and 7. Okay, he's dead even. Did he play Aquila at any point? No, it doesn't look like it. And he played Riku, who I think plays Steve, and I think he's a really good player as well. Hold on, let me check here. Yeah, it looks like he plays P2, PT, and Steve. I guess that's the lineup for DD as well. So I think Apollo Kage has a good chance against Steve. Sorry for the ad, by the way. He definitely could do it. It's just he has a tough bracket, but he's also like an incredible player. And also, I just look at like all these matchups. I'm like, Snake hella loses, but Snake like can win any matchup if you just play Snake hard enough. And Apollo Kage, my lord, does he play Snake? And then DD as well is going to be super interesting, because we haven't seen DD at a major, I think, since his really good run at MomoCon, I'm pretty sure it was, which is, it's like, that's a while ago. It doesn't feel like MomoCon was that long ago, but it's like a couple, like 3 or 2 months now, which is kind of crazy. But hey, when you're having majors every weekend, time really flies. So I think DD has potential to make it. Esam, obviously, whenever he goes to anything. Esam is kind of like Cosmos, but to like a lesser effect. And yeah, I think out of all these players, again, my safest guess is Anathema. My other 2 guesses is between Apollo Kage, DD, and Peanut, and then my wild card guesses are Esam and honestly Goblin or MVT, because they're both amazing players. And honestly, any of these players could make it, because they're all like Regulo as well. Like, he had a really good run at Smash God. I'm sure he could replicate it. But it's gonna be interesting for sure. But now I want to move on to something that I think is pretty important, and that is going to be the panel votes, because there's like a ton of panel votes for Melee, but there's only 2 for Ultimate. And I think these are the people that are going to get the panel votes. Now, you'll notice that I have 5 people that are going to get panel votes, and there's 2. And that's because there is, like, a ton of amazing players in the world here. Let me add Bloom here before I forget. There's a ton of amazing people that haven't qualified for Panda Cup, specifically Spargo, Gluto, Proto, Zachary, and Cola. Now, I think the most surprising one, honestly, is Cola, but I just don't think he's been going to like Panda Cup events. Like, he's probably gone to a couple, but for the most part, he hasn't been going to like a ton of them to get these, like, to secure these spots. So, and Spargo, highlights from tournaments. Zachary hasn't been to NA tournaments besides Ludwig's. Proto, same thing really. He's only been to Double Down and Summit. So it's gonna be interesting to see who gets it, because I think the only one I'm confident gets it is Spargo. I think Spargo 100% gets a vote-in spot. I'd be pretty shocked if he didn't. I think he deserves it. He's unreal. But the next 4 is tough because they're not even guarantees. Like I say, they're gimmies, but there's also everyone could also get it as well. Honestly, if I had to guess who it would go to, I would probably guess Proto. It'd be Proto or Cola in my mind. Why I'm not picking Zach Ray is because he just hasn't been doing as well recently, and recency bias in Smash is incredibly important. Like people very very heavily look at that, and I just don't think he gets in as well. But if there's a chance he could. And then Gluto, it's tough because Gluto, I think Proto and Cola have been doing better than him recently. I feel like Gluto's on a bit of a downswing, but he was also like, it's tough to compare him because he was like playing the best he's ever played before, and then he's just playing like how he's normally playing before, but like still jacked up because he's like consistently beating Leo. I also think we've seen him at anything in a little bit. He was at Ludwig's actually. He got 9th place there, which is pretty good. 13th at Leota C, not great. Second at VCA Vienna. For anyone that's not Glutonate, it's pretty good. 5th at Summit's actually really good. 4th at SmashCon's really good. 4th at Smash Factory's really good. So he is still doing fine. He just had like 9th at Summit or Ludwig's pretty good by the way. Also, he beat Goblin, Ashimo, Quandale, and Tweak, only losing to like Sonic, Shuton, Kuramo, and Sonic's twice. So I could see Glutony getting it for sure. And then I just feel like Cola and Proto have been doing better recently. And if I had to pick one, I would guess it goes to Proto just because of his dominance in NA. Even though he hasn't been like, I would argue Cola's have been having more consistent, better results in NA. Just like, well, then there's this, but like whatever. 7th at Ludwig's, maybe he just has more actually because Proto has been like winning the last 2 tournaments he goes to, but I still would vote Proto. Zamba, DeBuzz, Riddles, Tweak, MFA, all amazing wins, only losing to Karama Onin. Smash Summit. Oh, Smash Summit. He obviously had an incredible run there, only losing to Leo, Riddles, Proto, and Light. Pax only losing to Aaron and Aaron twice actually. SmashCon getting 7th place there, only losing to Leo and SkyJ. Like the SkyJ win isn't great, but he's like still a PGR player, still amazing. Like he is getting a ton of wins. He's consistently placing well. He does have this like one bad tournament here, but then looking at Proto's record as well, I think Proto is. I think I said Cole was more consistent. Proto is definitely more consistent just because that one tournament does hurt. Because like it feels like in Japan, Proto gets like 5th every single time, and then in NA he gets 1st every single time. So we got 3rd at Kowloon, which is pretty good for anyone that's not Proto. 5th at Meisuma, again, good for anyone that's not Proto. 1st at Summit, he won the tournament, obviously amazing, got a ton of wins as well. 5th again at Meisuma, it's like he's always getting that 5th place. 5th at Kagaribi, it's like every single time it feels like he's getting it. It's really unfortunate. He hasn't won a Japanese major he hasn't even won he won a Japanese tournament here, but he hasn't won a Japanese major in like a while. I'm not even gonna go and find it because it's like I'll be scrolling. And she's been struggling in Japan. Do I think he still deserves a spot? Yes, absolutely. If I had to pick 2 vote-ins, which is tough for me to pick, I would pick Spargo and Glutony. Or sorry, Spargo and Proto. But now that leaves, okay, we'll delete their names from the list. Let's say that they're in. Now that leaves Glutony, Zach, and this is for LCQ by the way. Gluto, Zachary, Cola, and people that could get the LCQ spots. Zamba, Shutone, T, Mia, if he's going, I don't think he is. Ken, these are people that like should be voted because I don't think Bloom is going. I don't think Mia's going, or I can't imagine they are, but maybe. But like these are also people that are like recommendations for vote-ins, and then people that could qualify if they were there. Zamba is like the only person that's like not. He should be a gimme because he's been so close. But I was just doing off like caliber of play because those are all like top 5 players, or like were top 5 players at one point. Except like Zachary, but whatever. You get my point. They're all amazing players. And then Zamba's also been an amazing player. He's just so close as well. But I honestly think he snags a spot at Poor Party, even though I said it was between Shutone or Ken. Thinking about it more now, he has a really good head-to-head against basically everyone here. I think the person that gives him the hardest time is, I want to say Tweak. Even though like Meister has beat him in the past, he kind of beat Meister with Lucina, which instills a lot of confidence in me, beating someone with your secondary. And we're going to see if maybe Meister figured out, maybe he was caught off guard, one-time thing. But it's going to be interesting. I think Tweak is the only person that gives Zamba a decent run for the money. Maybe Cosmos as well, but again, how are we supposed to predict Cosmos? So they played Tweak has beat him the last 2 times they've played, and the 2 times they played at majors. Cosmos, I don't think they've played since Smash World Tour. Oh, hopefully he doesn't run into Cosmos. he has been doing rough versus Cosmos. So that, oh god, I mean he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to prey on the Cosmos downfall, which isn't like that untypical to happen, honestly. So Zomba has a decent chance to make it, not through bracket luck, but just if he can avoid Cosmos, and if he can hopefully avoid Tweak and Meister. He doesn't need to, but it would be nice if he did. He honestly should do fine with the rest of the tournament. And then, I mean, we already looked at everyone else. Cosmos could do it, Shuton and Ken probably the most likely to do it. And then DreamHack, we already looked at that as well. But going back to my big dog, these are people that all could qualify through LCQ. If I had to guess, saying they're all there, and probably all of them won't be there, assuming Spargo and Proto have already been invited. Gluto probably gets it. Cola probably gets it. Zomba probably gets it. And then it's Shutone, T. If I had to pick one, I would probably say T. And that's because I have to. Even though Zachary's amazing, again, we have to take recent tournament results. Zachary hasn't been doing as well, and T has, even though he didn't do great at Ludwig's. I guess they both didn't do great at Ludwig's, but like Zachary also didn't do great at a tournament before that at Meisuma, and then T won the tournament before that at Layata C. Mia, I just don't think will be there, but he would probably do well, honestly. You have a good chance. Ken, I don't know if he'd be there. He is probably, I don't want to say least likely chance of everyone here, but it feels like everyone like he would have to fight to get in is like really good against Ken. It feels like almost every single player here has a decent shot. Bloom, I don't think would go, but honestly, if Bloom did go, he would probably get in. Like, it's tough because, okay, let's say we labeled it. Let's say we get rid of Ken, we get rid of Mia because we don't think he's going to be there. We get rid of Zachary because I don't think he's going to be there as well. So now we're down to Zomba. We're down to Gluto, Cola, Zomba, Shutone T, and Bloom. I have to get rid of one. I probably get rid of Shuton. Just cause, honestly, I feel like these people do... I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I'm just picking Shuton, honestly. And then if I have to get rid of one more again, just to be funny, Zomba, because it would be a tragedy if he was one spot away from qualifying through LCQ again. So, why not? Reddit Dark Harmony, Reddit Joker Story. Move on with it. So, these are my 4 people, and then I'll add back Proto, and I'll add back Spargo. So I'm having Spargo and Proto invited. Bloom, T, Cola, Gluto qualifying. Probably not, though, because I don't think they'll all be there. I imagine people that will be there is probably Cola and Gluto. I don't really know if T and Bloom will be there, but we'll have to see. And then if T and Bloom aren't there, obviously Zomba's back, Shuton's back. And then people, I mean, we already talked about who qualified for DreamHack, who qualified for Port Priority, and then we'll quickly go over who do I think is going to do well. It's hard to predict because it's in a month. I think Mutace is going to do well. I think Light's going to do well. Tweak, obviously Leo will. DeBuzz will. Mars has a decent chance. Onen's going to probably farm. Riddles has been doing really well recently. Sonics as well. Even though we haven't seen as much Sonics recently, I think he just won a Smash World Tour event, so he's clearly still doing fine. Yeah, there's so many amazing players here. So many amazing players that are going to be added, and it's going to be really sick, and I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If there's a specific player that you want me to cover out more, like someone that like you think has a pretty good chance to make it through one of these tournaments or should have been like on the contention for these invite list or qualify list, please let me know down below if you want to see anyone in this like final bracket that's already been invited, how you think they'll do. Again, let me know down below. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to sub. All the yada yada support has been really nice lately, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.